Yeah, because family and friends, the closer your circle, like the more biased they're going to be because they know who you are. You know what I mean? They've seen your work for years, whereas like people on the outside just learning about you, they're going to like give you a fresh opinion on like work. You can gotta tell
Yeah.
when someone's like saying an idea to someone, and then the way they receive it, you can almost like sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's true. It's like you can't escape, or it's hard to escape a pre-known thing about yourself with people that like know you intimately, and you're
yeah,
trying to do this other thing almost aside of you. Like I found it helpful to. That's why I sort of did it where it's not me, the artist. It's like me, this brand. So I can sort of
yes,
put it outside myself and be like, if you engage with this is
yeah,
separate to me in some ways. I mean, it's all my
yeah.
work, but I think it really helps when you kind of separate it like that a little bit. Sometimes people
Like,
don't.
do you like separating? You like the fact that the work is separate from you? Do you think it makes the work like it affects the work in a positive way, or like makes it stronger?
I think in many ways it was a crutch in the beginning to help
Yeah,
me. I was getting too in my mind about what was gonna represent me forever, and I think doing that, putting it aside to
yeah,
myself, is probably like I think hopefully one day working towards
mm,
things, and it's even happening now, like getting closer to like this is me.
yeah,
But in the beginning, I needed that separation to like sort of help me understand what I was doing in a way,
yeah.
and be able to just like put it in front of me and be like, okay, what is this?
And
Instead of
did you like initially start off with that separation, or was it like,
No, I had like, I mean, I've been doing like, I'd say like yourself, you just always creative, always doing things. And I
yeah,
think when it came time to like lock in, like you leave
mm,
college and you're like, okay, what am I actually going to do?
mm,
That became the time when I was kind of like, oh, I guess I'll put it outside of myself. That said, I always liked brands, and I always liked
mm,
companies and ideas and like
yeah, yeah,
production studios. And I think that was inbuilt to me as a thing that you own, that you work through.
hmm,
And especially because I had so many different interests. Like I was hopping from like photography to writing to like filmmaking,
yeah, yeah.
and
You
like
wanted to kind of put your finger in each pie, like, you know?
exactly, yeah. And I think and that was confusing, especially when you're going through a period of identity crisis or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not helpful.
yeah.
So to have a separate thing, which I was like, they'll all fall under this one category, that's kind
That's
of it.
so interesting. Like I remember, for a while, even like just in recent years, and still it kind of comes to my mind sometimes, where I try to come up with that kind of separate
Right.
kind of identity, or uh, what would you call it? Uh, I forget the word for it, but
Mm,
like uh, a name for yourself rather than
yeah.
your own kind of
Yeah. A
personality.
pseudonym or like an identity.
Pseudonym, yeah.
Yeah.
But I always found it difficult because obviously decide what you're
Right.
going to brand yourself as forever, but it's also like, this is just from
Mm,
my experience with it, but I felt as though I was creating like a masked version of myself
yes.
that I would have to fit into every time I want to be that,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing
Mm,
because then I could step back from it.
yeah.
But then I don't know, something felt for me personally like everything that I came up with,
Mm,
it felt as though like it was like a fake version of me,
yes.
you know?
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I always
It's
like,
really interesting that people find it like as like that works for them, and
yes.
that helps them
Mm,
put their out there, and
yeah.
some people are just like, I don't know,
I will say,
disagree.
thinking about it, I mean, it wasn't definitely, I definitely went through periods of thinking that way too,
Mm,
where the overwhelming nature of being like, what's going to represent me forever is,
yeah,
is big. And I think a good like turning point that helped me flip into my mind was even just looking at somebody like, Donald Glover, and seeing
yeah,
like, oh, Childish Gambino is actually just a project, instead of
it's a good
this is
example.
going to be
Yeah.
me forever. And I think that
Mm.
applying that thinking to what I was doing, where I was like, oh, I'll just tell myself this might be a project. And
You can separate it from, you can do something as you as well. Doesn't mean
yeah.
that like once you create that name, it doesn't mean that everything has to go through that.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Because I think no matter what you
That's a good way
do,
of looking at it, actually. Yeah.
it helps, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think like no matter what you do, like especially when you're making stuff,
Mm.
it's always gonna be you in a way. Like you can
Yeah,
do a
of
drawing,
course. Yeah, yeah,
even if it's not a company, it's like I've
yeah,
just done this piece of art,
yeah,
and like this is gonna stand as who I am right now. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
kind of inescapable when it's coming out of you like that.
See, that's where I kind of run into issues about that. Like, because I don't have one, I feel as though I'm too attached to the work, and it almost stops me from putting the work out
Mm.
because I feel like it's not good enough to be attached to this idea. Maybe it's just ego
No,
or
makes
something, but
sense.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I am definitely too precious about what people see, and I need to be more consistent by just putting stuff out
Mm.
and just kind of detaching myself from it. But I think it's just a little bit of perfectionism in me that,
Yeah, and everyone has
you
it.
know,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah,
common, and like that worrying about, I mean, because it's vulnerable, it's a vulnerable practice when you're
yeah,
like, I've just made this thing and it represents me in some way. Like, I think you'd be a bit of a sociopath if it was too easy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If you were just like, here's all my shit, like I'm gonna send it out, I
yeah.
feel absolutely nothing.
Then it's less about the art.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're
Exactly.
just putting it out to kind of, I guess, there's less thought gone into it,
Yeah.
which isn't also a bad thing. But
Yeah.
I think that the artwork, it's like you're then focusing on quantity over quality.
Exactly.
Whereas the likes of me, I would focus on quality over quantity.
Yeah, even like just through observing what you're doing, like from a distance, the projects you create are similar to what I was saying about this brand identity or this platform you create.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
like within this world of this project I'm creating,
Mm,
I can be free and be like, this represents this project. It's not going to
mhm.
represent me, my whole artistic
Yeah,
identity. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that's why I think even the Love Me Not stuff that I've
yeah.
seen, that's a clear world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, I feel detached from that, but it's like that. It's more than just the love me not. The love me not is just like a passenger in that
Mm,
bubble, in that world. But it's more for a form of like escapism.
yes.
Um, I just love world building in general.
Yeah,
So
because that's what I wanted to ask you about
yeah,
was world building. Because I
yeah.
think, is narrative always important to you when you're making something in that way?
I think so. I think everything, even in my commercial work, if I work on a project like an album
Mm,
for art direction or a Chamomile project or a painting or
yeah.
a comic book or a story, everything just naturally the idea that comes to me, it's never really like just surface level. I always have to come up with some sort of narrative behind it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's just a natural thing. I think it's just because I love world building. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I
I
think
think
that
it's
needs
but I do
structure.
think it's like the strongest ideas come
Mm.
from that. Sometimes we can't understand it. Like sometimes you can just do something abstract and be like, I like this for a reason.
Yeah, of course,
I
yeah.
don't yet understand.
Yeah.
But it's like playing. Like you
It
can't,
actually is.
you
It's
know?
like imagining as a child, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
And there's no like, wait, let me not do this too much in case I ruin it. As a child, you want
yes.
it's for how much more can
How
I get out of it?
deeper can I go?
Yeah.
It's even if no one sees the roots,
Yeah.
it's like you still want to grow them deeper and deeper and
Yeah.
deeper, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's just like psychological fun. Like it's, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're expanding this whole world, and I also do think the energy of that comes through something anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. It only makes the foundation of it solid, like
Yeah.
stronger, you know?
Yeah. Like I was even thinking the piece you did for the Art Riddler exhibition that I saw.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a similar thing where you can see that individual work, I think,
Mm,
and glean from it so much more context and narrative, you know?
yeah,
Not
yeah.
just through like what's happening in the image, because it's a very
Well, that's great.
storytelling
It's great
image.
that you see that.
Yeah,
Um,
but just in the details, like even from like
mm,
the thing on the T-shirt. Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? There's elements
Mhm.
there that tell their own story.
Like multiple different things
Yeah.
going on, but it's all in this one world. But it's more than just surface level. What's like one subject?
Yes.
You can pull different subjects from it, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the art I like as well. I mean,
yeah.
you want it's like an interesting balance between you, the artist, creating this world and this narrative,
Hmm.
and then also at the same time leaving space for whoever comes to it to not be overwhelmed with that whole story.
Yes.
So the way I can come to
Yes.
that piece and I can look at it and I'm not overwhelmed by this story you're trying to tell me. I can find my way into it.
Yeah.
And that's I think the key with, and it's like music or films. Some of my favorite films is like I
Mhm.
found my own way into it.
That's great. Yeah, that's actually really cool to hear. Even just behind that piece, um, and multiple other pieces that I have, it's like that one. I'm not saying like this is exactly what it is. This is just what inspired it and how what my mind was like while creating that. But besides the subject of the piece,
Hmm.
of the Not So Tough Now, um, having the character on the t-shirt was just a small link
Yeah.
to the rest of the work,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So like in that world, that real world,
Mm.
like where that kid is,
Yeah.
for example, he might watch the world building on the TV, like in a
Yes.
cartoon, and that's his form of escape.
Yes.
But I'm showing like almost like what's outside that, what's going on in the lives of people who use that world as a form of escape. It's not just, it's almost bigger than the world itself.
Yeah.
It's like, what are the people's lives like that are watching it,
Yeah.
that use it as a form of escape?
Yeah.
But it's also that we can like we are creating the narrative, but we're not planning it.
Mm,
Like you create a world for a narrative to just like spawn. You
yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just slowly kind of reveals itself over time.
Yeah.
So we're living that narrative. You know?
Yeah. Not to take that and like get ridiculously deep with it, but I do
Yeah.
think that it's similar to like religion in a way where it's like
Mm,
that idea of God creating the earth
yeah.
and then being like, now you go, instead of
And live it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
things happen
Yeah.
within it. Like he's not, you know, this like whatever theory or belief you subscribe to. It's like a common one is that he created the universe and then stepped back and let this thing unfold. It's the same thing with like, I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
create
yeah,
this
yeah.
artwork and then let it propagate and do its own thing and live this
Yeah,
life
and
outside
let
of me.
people read it and take it for what it is,
Yeah.
or like how they want
Exactly.
to take it.
Their way in. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the similar with us. Like we live within the universe and we're forming our own
Yeah.
lives. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think
It's not
that,
being too like controlling over the
yes.
whole thing. You know?
Yeah.
Even though you are forming it, it's
Yeah.
like you're still leaving it open to people to like carve their own narrative or like find a narrative that they like.
Yeah.
Because it's formed from parts of you, I guess.
Yeah.
And I assume like you feel it as well. It's like you're creating things off things that you've experienced. It's
Yeah.
not like stuff that you're not aware of or stuff you don't know. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. We all take in information from the second we're born.
Literally.
And
It's slightly biased. Like we're creating a world from what we know,
Yeah.
but it's cool because like, I guess to other people, it might mean something completely different.
Yeah.
You know?
And because it stems from, I mean, the blocks we're taking to build that world aren't like we're taking them from this external place where everyone is. So like we've taken this thing of like whatever's going into the art is come from something outside of ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where other people are taking their things from. So like there's a resonation on like when you see something, you recognize a familiarity of like, oh, I know where that has come from, or I feel, you know, a connection to that for some reason, instead of something coming out of left field or being generated outside of a world that you exist in. You know what I mean? Even the things that make you be like, what the fuck is this about? Or this is so crazy or ridiculous. If they hit home with some people, like music, do you know what I mean? You can change your relationship to it over a period of time, and you were never wrong to not get it in the beginning, but you've changed as a person, and now you're more in line with where they're coming from, or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a crazy back and forth.
There's been so many times as well, just about the music thing is like, even we were just talking earlier about Matthew Harris's work. It's like, there's so many songs that I've listened to, not just Matthew's, but specifically a few of his songs as well. But a lot of movie scores and just scores in general where I could be listening to it and like a whole world spawns from that one feeling I got from the song.
Yeah.
So like I could be listening to some orchestral masterpiece and then all of a sudden an image pops into my head, and then that image turns into a full-blown character, and then that full-blown character is in this full world.
Yeah.
And it's like just from one little thing
Yeah.
for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
a whole thing spawns.
Yeah.
It's like you could almost say that the credit is due to the artist who made the music. So it's like this sick kind of chain reaction.
Yeah.
Of
But even they're
response.
coming from a place like that music that they
probably listened to something else or saw something that inspired them.
Yeah, it never begins in one place. You know what I mean? It's always coming from various angles.
And that actually ties back into like the kind of letting it happen, like the narrative of, or even just living, like creating the world and letting things happen.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier about explaining an idea to somebody.
Yeah.
And having them listen and get it in a way that's like a yes-anding thing. I think like that relates to the fact of it. That's a physical example of, you can see how it is all connected. People, it's not like when you're saying something, someone's being like, never heard this before. They're relating it to something that they know.
Yeah.
And that's why it gets exciting, I think, as well. It's like, oh, I can connect to this in a way that's
100%. Like I've spoken to so many people just about ideas that I've had, or even if someone's telling me their idea, and it's always been oh, and what if you did this? And that just like, literally, I could be stuck for months and someone says one thing.
Yeah.
Because I've told them what I'm stuck on.
Yeah.
And they say, oh yeah, and try this. Like,
yeah.
And then that just breaks down that barrier, or it just causes another chain reaction.
Yeah.
So it's always just one after the other.
Yeah.
Cycling.
It's the cool thing about creativity as well. It's like, because there's no rules, like anything goes, anything can spark anything. You can be stuck in a certain way, and it's not like the way to get out of this is you have to X. Like it could literally be anything. You can just be stuck in the weeds on something for ages, and you can one little, like you were saying, shift in the context of what
Yeah.
you're seeing changes everything. Like it could just be
One
one little
shift in perspective.
yeah.
And it can change
It
the
can,
whole
yeah, an idea that spans years and countless artworks and stuff like that. It just
yeah,
it's crazy, and it's also the addicting part of it.
it is.
You can be right at the edge of being like, why am I doing this? And then you can hop in the shower and be like, that's why I'm doing it. And it's
Yeah.
just straight back on another path that leads you down another 8 years of doing it. Like,
and then there's also another side, like you could world build forever and go down a rabbit hole so deep to the point where you might get stuck, but that's actually the point in which you have to stop. So you have to take a new perspective at it, almost suck yourself out of it and just look at it and then be like, do I go deeper? Do I explore this more, or do I move on to something else?
yeah. Tell me a little bit about where your early creativity and how was it just from the get-go comic books? Was that the path, or?
It's such a mixed bag. Like primary school, I just drew all the time. That's where kind of like I've always been into art.
Right.
Secondary school, it was in my year, I was definitely like the art guy. As corny as that sounds, like I was just known for just drawing and everything, drawing my hands, my friends' arms. I'd be giving them tattoos with pens and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. And then into college, I knew I was going to do art from the get-go. And then I started on customizing shoes.
Nice.
Just kind of trying loads of different things. And then I was really inspired. That's when I started getting into like hip hop and rap and a lot of music.
Yeah.
And I was kind of doing a lot of portraiture, as you do. A lot of young artists start out with portraiture.
Yeah.
It's kind of the rite of passage. And I started painting on clothes because I started getting into fashion a little bit. And then I went to a few concerts, and then I got up on stage with Juice WRLD because I painted him a t-shirt.
No way.
And then from there, I got contacted by the photographer, which then I ended up doing a custom pair of shoes, and then it kind of snowballed after that.
Right.
So that was the first link in the chain
Crazy.
of reaction. But I basically did that, and then I did some cover art for some artists in America, and then like this, I was a young fella, so I was doing this for like free, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And then what else did I do? I got hired by a company in America to freelance design for like brands, YouTubers. And I did that for a few years, and I'm trying to remember it all now.
So it was project to project.
Project to project, but it was mainly like I started getting into like graphic design, illustration. I was doing art alongside,
Okay.
trying to figure out my voice or whatever. Like I still am, but yeah, just got into graphic design, and from there, then I got into the Dublin scene while I was working for the company in America, and just kind of slowly started doing some fashion stuff for a lot of Dublin brands. Then I started doing more artistic stuff for Dublin brands and people in Ireland.
Right.
And then just grew a voice there with the Gliders guys first.
Yes.
And then moved on to set up Chamomile Club with the lads. And then alongside that, I was working at kind of graphic design in America.
Yeah.
And building my voice on that side as well. And then they kind of merged paths now. Like they're kind of, they are, like the main focus is my art, Chamomile Club, and commercial success, hopefully.
As you were doing the commercial side of things alongside the art side of things and finding your voice, did you feel like that was helping you in that way, or was it just a separate thing?
I think it has helped me more than my own artwork, but there's a side to it where I've been doing it so much and it's taken so much of my priority that like sometimes and most times the art takes the back seat, whereas I'm trying to now kind of balance the two so I can then lead with the art side of it.
Yeah,
because I would love, I think a lot of young graphic designers and people who want to be art directors and all this kind of stuff, they tend to work a lot for other people.
Yeah.
And then they like, if every project you give a lot of yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of get caught in this habit of, oh, that job was sick, that project was sick, let me do another one.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly working for other people on other people's ideas. So I feel that now that's fine if that's what you want to do, but if you want to like be your own voice and kind of be your own person and be successful, I feel like you need to prioritize as well.
Yeah.
A balance.
Definitely. When I was in college, I was like looking around for some advertising jobs, and one Zoom I took with the guy, within the first like minute, he asked me, he was like, what are you looking to do like when you leave college? And I was like, oh, I'm looking to make my own thing and like kind of make my own work or whatever. He's like, you should do that right now, because if you come in here, even though I did end up taking an advertising job in a different place after, it was like, if you come in here and start working on other people's stuff, it will be so hard to like, you should just try and do what you're gonna, that's at the forefront of your mind,
Yep.
to before you get wrapped up in a knot over here.
Yes.
If you can sustain yourself through doing that other way. Obviously, I slipped into like another advertising job, and he was right. Like when you go into that stuff, as you know, it's like, and I was even doing it in a way that was even further removed from creative direction. It was like, change the color of this website, and you just,
Yeah. Literally.
okay,
Can you alter this graphic? Can you like you almost then what's I kind of became, especially in Ireland, was you're known for that then. Like you're known for to be a sick graphic designer. But I still to this day, and I always have hated being called, oh, he's a sick graphic designer.
Yeah.
Like I hate that word. It's so corporate. I want to be only known as an artist or storyteller. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Because eventually I want to lead to the point where like my stuff is being turned into like films or TV shows or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Grand projects. But it's like you're not gonna get to that level if you're just labeled as small-time graphic designer.
It's hard for people to unwrap their perception of you.
Yeah.
Like doing anything and putting it out there, and this thing of perfectionism is like,
Yeah.
because we innately sense that people are going to pick up on something immediately.
Yeah.
So like if you need to narrow their field of vision to what you really want them to get, because if you don't, you could be like, oh, it's fine, they'll figure this out, and then you know, in the negative, there's the positive ways where it's like, I want someone to interpret this their own way.
Yeah.
But then the thing about the identity thing, where it's like, please look at me like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's hard. You can't really say that. So like, be like, oh, hey, please look at me as an artist, but appreciate my work.
Yeah.
But I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to have to keep reminding people. But
but I think people, I do think like the encouragement is that some people will get it. Like
some people see it. They know that at the end of the day, like you are an artist and you create art.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, especially in the outer circles, see it's the inner circles, they know you're an artist or aren't. But it's the more work you do for other people and the general public see that, they're gonna label you as, well, you're a sick graphic designer. And it's like, no, you're
shifting the stranger's perception of you.
Yes, that's it.
We all live our own lives and we're all in our own world. And if I'm going over and I'm seeing this train go by that is your life, I'm only going to grab like graphic design, because I'm not going to spend the time of being like, unless I'm doing something like this. Like for me, it's different because I'm so interested in people's work. And the notion of creativity, that like when I come to your page, I would have actually, graphic designer is something I didn't actually pick up on. Probably.
Yeah, I've kind of curated in a way that I don't even post any of my commercial stuff. Very rarely, maybe the big projects. But 90% of, or like 70% of the work I'm doing at home isn't online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but but see, now it's that's you're seeing the effect of that in real time,
which is great. It's kind of like perceived how I wanted to be perceived.
And that's the encouragement, is like, you need those moments. The same with projects. You need those moments of talking to somebody and being like, great, okay, like what I'm doing is having an effect in the way I want it to. Just a little bit, because sometimes I feel like there's a lot of talk about like you can't control, you know, how your art is taken in and perceived.
Yeah, because you can't go up and like ask someone like, hey, do you think I'm an artist? Like, it's like, you're not gonna ask someone that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But you do, but it is something we just innately, like, one comment fed back to us in a way that vindicates what we're doing.
Exactly.
It's just so key. Like, you don't want it all the time. You don't want, like, I don't need an Aviva stadium of people chanting, I'm great, I'm an artist.
Exactly.
But I want one interaction within the space of 8 months where someone's like, I saw what you're doing and I get it. You know, you just need, again, it's like the idea thing where
or
it's like
someone coming up asking, hey, what are you doing next?
Exactly.
And it's unprompted. You know, then you know that's like someone's actually genuinely interested and they care about it. It's not just, oh, that was cool.
As much as it is world building, it's community building. And you want to build a community of people that are interested in what you're doing. And
that's deeper than just a compliment.
Exactly. It's to do with how you're living. I mean, like how you're operating in the world. So when someone's complimenting it, it's not just something that, it's not like they're looking at a thing you've done and been like, this looks cool, I like the colors of this. It's really about how you're living your life. It's like as if someone's telling you they love you. It's not to do with like how I'm dressed today. That's a deeper compliment about who I am as a person. You know? It's and how I'm engaged.
How you carry yourself on a daily, not just based off like one thing you do.
And no doubt it's going to be an ongoing process for the entire life.
No, like definitely. I think even without, I know every artist says this, it sounds so cliche, but genuinely without art, I actually don't know what I'd be doing. I've always imagined that, like what other kind of careers would I be doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I actually don't know. Maybe music, but then it's something creative, you know. But then I also hate the word like I'm a creative. Like I don't
I know.
use that.
I know. Certain things, certain concepts have been taken away from your own personal interpretation of them because of social media or whatever. It's like, I can no longer use this without thinking of this. It's like naming your son after trying to pick a name and be like, no, I know a guy with that name and he fucking sucks. Like, you know, it's impossible.
Negative connotations.
Exactly, negative connotations.
It's like the word creative has become trendy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't really want to like, I might be creative, but I don't want to associate myself with that word.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to like fit into trends, you
Yeah.
know? Like the whole thing about artists, like for as long as they've lived, the artists are unique. For them to fit into a category or all to be put in one bracket, it almost, I don't know, makes them corporatized.
No, you're right.
I don't know if that's the right description, but every artist is different.
The history of it is about new ways of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And to get new ways of thinking and interpret things in our own unique way, you have to be true to yourself and also look at the gaps of where things aren't.
Yeah.
It's just getting harder to do that, especially in terms of making a living, because like I look at something like Instagram as well, and like it's almost easier to go against the grain because the grain is so obvious. So like I look at Instagram and it's like the thing that to turn this away, which is like what I try to do with my own thing, even though it's kind of to my own detriment, is like I'm just gonna have like one post in my grid and not and archive it and actually not leaving them up and doing the algorithm, because that's against the grain. Now you fall into the pit of why that's not a good thing to do about getting yourself out there, but it is the obvious thing to go against the grain. Like I have a theory-ish type thing about art today where it's like, because it's about, like you're saying, putting it out there without it much being about the art necessarily, or there's lack of ideas or whatever, then the thing to do is to actually like create it on a small, quiet level. Even though that's nothing to do with making money and getting your stuff out there, it is sort of a more creative decision in context of the modern world.
Yeah.
Seems random because it's like, but the point of it is to get your stuff out there, isn't it? But I think looking beyond that, it's like almost, which is why I find your stuff really interesting. Not to say that's not out there, but there's an idea of it that's like, this is here doing its own thing anyway. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like it's looking necessarily to
attach itself to that or anything.
Yeah.
I feel like even just by the way you're speaking as well, is like, it's that no matter where the art is made or what context it's made in, like be it a small box room in someone's thing that's not going to see the light of day versus like a big production house, the work is going to be the work. If it's good, it's going to speak for itself regardless of the audience. You know what I mean? So take, for example, like even just music that's popping off right now, like if Femi's new song, it's like he made that in his bedroom. Yeah. And now it's millions and millions of plays. Yeah. It doesn't matter if that was made in a world-class studio versus a bedroom. It's going to speak for itself, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think like anything made with that mindset of you're making it for yourself is carries, it's like any sort of
making it for yourself. That's it. It's as long as you feel good making it. Yeah. And like, you don't have to feel good after it, but like as long as it gives you some sort of like escapism, joy, whatever it is, even just as a way to vent, to make you feel something, I think that's what should be important to the artist. You know? But yeah, if the work's good, it'll speak for itself, really. Just personally, I feel the word creative versus being an artist, you know? Yeah. That's how I see it. It's like, do you want to be seen as being an artist, or do you actually want to make art?
Exactly.
You know? And like every artist, as much as they say that they don't care, it's like, I feel as though like it does feel good for people to see your work, you know? Yeah. And for people to like it.
Yeah. Because it's there to start a conversation, we're saying, to engage someone on a level that, even the thing we're saying about sharing that, like the project ideas and someone getting it. It's a similar thing of, does anyone get this? And not just in like, okay, you got the idea, great, but like in a way that's like someone out there's thinking how I'm thinking, or caring about the things that I'm caring about, or whatever.
I'm surprised. It's like someone might reach out and be like, oh, hey, like ask a question about one project maybe that you've made, right? And they're asking a question about it, and you're like, oh my God, the whole time I was making that, I was worrying about this, when the bit I completely looked over was the bit that stood out to someone. So
exactly.
It's, you know,
yes, we have no idea.
We have no idea how someone,
and that's kind of, I think that's relieving.
It's the beautiful thing about art. Like, that's those are the moments you kind of wish to have with an audience, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because like even how I consume art, and I know I say art, but what I mean is mainly movies and story
Yeah.
based stuff, like narrative based stuff, because that's what makes me feel something. The stuff that inspires me is like movies and TV shows and music and comic books. So it's all narrative based, really. That's what makes me feel something. But I might watch a movie and completely unexpected, and it might make me feel something that I've never felt before, or feel something like that. I was like, oh my God, that is the exact feeling that I have felt, but I've never seen betrayed before. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that piece of art could like really touch you in some way. It's kind of carried on then. Like you hope that you can make work that can do the same for
100%.
people. Like I would love nothing more. Like that's all I want to do in the future, really. Even if I'm an old man and I have only one piece of like big work out there, it could be one movie or whatever it is. And even if it's one scene that someone constantly refers back to or rewatches every year,
Yeah.
just to see that one scene.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to like make someone feel something in just one little piece,
Yeah.
that's like, I want to create something the same way someone has made something for me.
Yeah.
Like, even though I haven't made it for me, I know it's very, like, the wrong way to say it, but you know what I
No,
mean?
it's
Like,
right. No, it's completely
yeah,
right. It's
yeah,
what it's the experiences I had as a kid that fed my soul.
yeah,
Was sitting in
yeah,
front of
exactly.
a film and going like, "There's something in this that is
Yeah,
speaking to my truth."
yeah,
And then it's the reason. I'd say it's like a very common reason that people are. I'm after the same thing.
yeah,
Like I'm after creating something that that a younger me or an older me or whoever me
mhm.
would look at and go like, "That's speaking to me on a level that is profound." And I still have it. Like you still can get it with things that it's never ending. But I mean, for me, it's obviously maybe more heightened when I'm a kid because I'm in that
You're
stage.
experiencing new things,
Exactly,
like,
and I'm
these
figuring stuff out,
moments, yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like looking for. I'm really like really actively
But
looking
that's
for
when
that.
it sticks with you.
Exactly.
I think that's why I a lot in the outer world stuff of my artwork,
Yeah.
I tend to draw like younger people,
Right.
because that's when those moments have the most impact. Like that painting, it's a very like traumatic moment
Yeah.
and that it's quite sad, but that's what stuck with that child. It's
Yes.
like I have other ones where it's not just negative, it's like positive
Mm.
moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even just now, just thinking off the top of my head, like one of my favorite films of all time, it might not be a Christopher Nolan movie or whatever it is, but it was Robots. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that
Of
one.
course.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
huge, that's
Yeah.
stuck with me my entire life,
Yeah.
and it's been an inspiration for years. It's just those type of films, like when you're a kid, even when you're older, but
Yeah.
they just, I don't know, maybe they make you feel something, or maybe you see yourself in them,
Yeah.
in certain characters, and you're like I feel heard.
Yeah. Like we have our own little sense of who we are in a little soul and a little kid body.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
one of the first times that when you're watching that, you're like, wait, it's almost like a mirror. I can't remember the first time I saw myself in a mirror, but I'm sure it was kind of trippy.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's kind of that through art where I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm feeling
Also, I
something.
see my soul in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can't, obviously, it's not like in those words, but there's some sort of resonation with it that's addicting. That's like invigorating. That makes you come up with.
Yeah, I want to experience that again. But
Yeah.
then I think from an artist standpoint, it's like I want to make something that makes someone feel that.
Yeah.
You
And they're
know?
they're the dividers, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's be someone who feels, and being like someone who creates something that will hopefully make someone feel the same.
yeah.
Because I want to give that good experience to someone. I think it's just so powerful. Like even reading something can like really change your perspective on everything.
Yeah. It's the opportunity to change someone's life. Like, I think
Literally.
that's
Yeah.
the exciting part
Yeah.
about it. There's an opportunity here because we've experienced it ourselves,
Yeah.
to actually direct someone's life and change the way
Yeah.
they think, change who
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Like that's a really exciting premise
Mhm.
to do anything on. Like, and we know it's possible because we've experienced it. And there's things that we return to, like Robots, or like whatever the film is, or the piece of music is, that makes you be like, this happened to me.
Mm.
It's not even a power thing as well. It's like everything's creation
Yeah.
because it's all creation. Like
Mhm.
we propagate, the universe exists. Like everything's always creating. It just seems to be the thing that's going on right now everywhere.
'Cause, like, it's one of, like, the only superpowers we actually have, especially with, like, AI and everything. It's like, it was made to AI should be doing all the
Admin.
admin work for us to live and
Yeah.
create art. Like, I think there's a famous quote that I heard. Not famous quote, Jesus. But it's popular quote that Timothy Chalamet said. I
Yeah.
only heard it the other day off a video somewhere,
Yeah.
and it was like, I'm definitely misquoting it, but he said something like, "What is life if not for art?" or something like that.
I mean, it's what, so far as we know, aliens aside, like
Yeah,
we're the only people that can do this. It seems like it's kind of like you have like a fork built into the top of your head and you never use it to scrape things up.
mm.
It's the same with our ability to like do this. Yeah.
They've been given a very powerful tool, and it doesn't mean like everyone has to be an artist
No.
or everyone has to create. You know?
We all, because we're all like this, we all do create. Like we all wake up and we go like, I want to wear this t-shirt today.
Yeah,
That's a creative, it's a different kind of creative decision to say like, I'm gonna make this whole universe of this expanded art world.
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
it's still that thing that we're still using it. You know
yeah,
what I mean, you could be in a conversation with somebody and be like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna do that. It's all creative decisions,
yeah,
and they might not reflect themselves in contained films, but they are all of the same thing, which is like if I do this, it will affect someone else in a way
hmm,
that I'm thinking about it.
yeah,
And it's the same with art. It's the same with anything.
yeah,
But I do think, just to say, I think what you're saying earlier about telling a narrative through the eyes of children, like
yeah,
I think that's probably, there's something about that that feels like it's connected to whenever somebody talks about creativity, they talk about like the inner child,
yeah.
because it's like that idea of when you're younger, you're playing a lot.
That's good. That's essentially what world building is like, I suppose, and just making stuff is.
Yeah.
It is a form of play.
It's kind of like the word creative, like because the idea of play has such negative connotations in an adult world,
Yeah,
it's hard to feel like, well, that's the point.
kind of like it's always labeled as like not serious.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Like the word play or making stuff or creativity, it's creativity is labeled as not being useful, not being efficient, not working, not
Yeah.
this, not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like we actually wouldn't get by if we didn't have film,
No. Yeah.
music, the radio,
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you know
think
what I mean?
people at the tops of those things will always be like, play is important. It's when it gets to the lower grade levels of being part of a system and doing the admin work that it becomes less obvious how play could be a part of that.
Yeah,
But anybody who's working on the top levels of doing things seems to be innovating, and innovating is playing, experimenting, exploring,
yeah.
and stuff like that. Like I think it's
It's just allowing a place for your mind to just go wild, you know?
yeah,
Running a field like
yeah,
mentally,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because only good things typically come from that. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
we have the ability to spiral inwards a little bit or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Even if nothing comes of it and you don't create anything, it's like you felt good.
yeah,
That's what it's supposed to do.
yeah,
You know, it's meant to give you some sort of freedom, you know?
yeah. And I think it feels good because it's aligning closer to what you're saying. It's like what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
I would definitely like just encourage people to just in some form stimulate your brain by, if not making something or creating something, it's like just consume
mm,
creative stuff.
yeah,
Like don't consume just crap
yeah,
online, you know?
yeah. Submerge yourself in the great
Yeah.
masterpieces,
Yeah.
because why
Find
not?
something niche that you like and look into it and find an artist who's making something or a documentary about it or go outside and talk to someone, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, get
It's
interested,
just, yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah. Cause there's nothing more fun than getting nerdy about something,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Honestly, yeah,
People need to be nerds more, actually, you know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How nerdy do you get with that idea of like technique, or is that always just come naturally to you, or is that something you had to practice?
Um, I think over the years, because I'm self-taught,
Right.
so I've always just looked at people and used like every year. It's almost like I shift my references.
Right.
So now it's kind of frustrating. Where I'm at now, I've haven't worked a lot on my own personal artwork for some time, so you kind of get rusty. So you, like as an artist, they always say consistency is key. That's true. If you want to get good at painting, paint all the time. If you want to get good at drawing, keep drawing anatomy, keep drawing anatomy. You know what I mean? It's like consistency. Whereas
Yeah.
if there's a break in that consistency or you're inconsistent, it's like you are gonna get a bit rusty. You're gonna fall behind on
Sure.
skill level. I feel like over the past year, I've been working on so many different things, and my priorities have been a lot more on like commercial side of stuff. And not to say that it's bad. The projects I've been doing of this year are the best projects
They
I've
look
ever
great.
worked on, and there's more to come. But with the artwork, though, how I kind of think about it is like I get nerdy about the artists that I like. So I might find maybe 3 artists that I'm really into. Like right now, I'm making a comic book, so I'm reading a lot of comics and I'm looking a lot of comic
Yeah.
art. So naturally, I'm going to be referencing a lot of comic artists. I love their work. So I do a deep dive into like, oh, I've read this thing. That's incredible. Oh, what else have they made?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just go down a rabbit hole of them.
Yeah.
And then even painters last year and the start of this year, I've just like found some people that I really like that are
Mm.
quite niche,
Yeah.
but I just really study their style.
Yeah.
Like I'd watch, like if they have YouTube videos on them painting, I'd watch them meticulously, or I'd zoom in on their
Yeah.
paintings, and I'd be like, how did they apply that to the canvas? Because I love that look.
Yeah.
How can I apply that to my work? You know?
Yes.
So I like to kind of get a bit what's the word?
Nerdy with it.
Nerdy with it. you
Yeah.
know?
I think that's how the artist absorbs work, other people's work. Do you know what I mean?
If they investigate them,
Yeah.
like what inspired them?
Yeah.
How did they fit? What kind of person are they?
Yeah.
You know?
The curiosity of that is why I think as well, if you're an artist, you're constantly making stuff, because it's the same curiosity of wanting to be like, I want to get this as I see it, or as I want to get what I mean down into a physical thing. And when you have stuff like that, you're like, I want to get what they mean. Like I want to understand this in a way that's about pausing the YouTube video, zooming in, screenshotting it, putting the, you know, shit that's, it's, you're like Sherlock Holmes or something like that with like,
I literally have on my wall like printouts of just artwork that I saw, and I just printed it out and I just hang it on my wall for like 6 months. And then in 6 months time, I might be like, okay, I like that style, but I found this new artist. Let me put that up there.
Yeah. No, like
It's literally like a big investigation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think it's also, you're saying you're going, you're always changing references, but I think like that's, I do the same thing. Like I think it's healthy.
Yeah. Now I do have the kind of core people
pillars,
who inspired me and who constantly I always look back to. But there's always, I never really tried to like lock myself into the same references. You know?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how I've learned.
Yeah. It's the balance of both.
Yeah.
It's always the balance of both.
Yeah. It's like I investigate an artist and I see what I can learn from them.
Yes.
And then maybe I'll move on to the next and be like, okay, I like this artist. It's completely different to the last one, but what can I learn from this artist?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like you're kind of gathering skill sets, you know, and learning off different masters essentially.
That's where your voice comes from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how anyone creates their own voice.
Yeah, taking all this stuff in, like you were saying earlier, and then just putting it back out.
Yeah.
And however your interpretation of all that stuff is what is
because they say like art is never 100% original. It's like it's always an influence of something else. It's an iteration of what came before.
Yeah,
you know,
and mixed in with your memories,
mixed in. Exactly.
Personality. You know, it's like that's how it works. I mean, it's so mixed in with their art, mixed in with their thing. It's the same as music. It's like you're not just listening to sounds necessarily. There's something tattooed onto it.
Yeah,
that has to do with the human being. That's why, again, the AI argument. It's like if it's making it, it's like I want a point of view. I don't like. Do you know what I mean? That's what I love in my art.
Yeah,
that I'm taking in, like, is points of view, and I don't know.
Not to go on a tangent with
please.
AI or anything, but like the one thing I've always believed, and an argument I've always came up with as an artist is like, oh, what do you think about AI and art? Are you scared of blah blah blah? It's like, this is what I was actually only talking to my friend's dad about this,
right?
Because he believes that AI is going to take over this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like, oh, what's the difference between me making the Mona Lisa, for example, exactly the way it's made on the wall? And I was like, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can make that.
Yeah.
Right? You can literally make the exact same thing I'm going to make. But a lot of people say, oh, it's because it was made by humans. Yes, like the human soul has got to do that in the process, right? But the one reason why I think AI, and the reason why I'm not afraid of AI taking over art, is because I truly believe that what will get in the way of it 100% of the time, if not 99% of the time, is human ego. Humans won't allow something else that they made to be better than themselves at it. You know what I mean? Like there's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I feel like human ego won't allow that to happen. There'll always be an argument why an AI generated thing right next to the thing that looks the exact same is worse. It's ego that gets in the way.
Also taking things in, I think, if anything, I can only envision the value of a human made thing going up whilst there's still human beings to consume it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, I think, the thing about the thing I say about point of views and people wanting point of views is because we're people that want points of view.
It's like the same thing. You can compare it in life. It's like if there's two people doing a marathon and one person gets the lift to the top or the end of the marathon, and the one person who ran it, yes, you could both finish across the finish line, but the person who ran the marathon is going to feel great and it's going to inspire other people because they watched them get there. That's why it's not about the end goal. It's about the hands that make it, you know, and what those hands did while they made it, you know.
That's a way better.
Climb a mountain, someone gets a lift to the top, someone climbs it.
Yeah.
Who's going to be respected more? The person who climbed it.
Yeah, and who's going to get more out of it?
That's it. It's even if no one's watching.
For some reason, it's like not innate in us to grasp this, that it's about our own experience in that moment, like we're talking about. Like, I think we expect that something else has to happen. This needs to be given an award or something else. Something else needs to tell us that this moment is valuable to us.
Yeah.
Instead of us just having a personal thing about it. Like, it's like anything. Like, if I'm looking at your art and I'm having a moment with it, you know, looking at it, and I'm just like, oh, I like this for these reasons. This reminds me of this, and da-da-da-da. I'm not reliant on the fact of how is it made? How is it done? Why is this important? There's no why in that case. It's if I like it, like in an impulse, that is the whole experience.
Yeah, it's not like, why should I like this?
Exactly.
It's you're gonna like it or not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's and there's nobody can tell you to do either way. Like that old like Duchamp thing where he took a toilet and he put it in a museum and people were like, this is an outrage, this is an art. Like it highlights the idea, similar to AI, which is the idea of the value resides in our experience with the piece. And it's the same thing with running a marathon. Like the value of the marathon resides in engaging with the piece and how our own experience of it. It doesn't really even matter that somebody out there has gone, marathons are important. The president of the world has been like, marathons are
yeah.
That doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
It's like if you're in an art gallery and you look at a piece and it enrages you. You're like, why is this in here? Obviously, it has value because it just made you pissed off. Like it made you angry.
You're having an experience with it.
You're having an experience with it. Then, therefore, you being angry at it gives it value.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just walk by it,
Yeah.
then you can say it might be invaluable. But to others, someone else, someone might walk along and be like, I love this. Next person goes, what the hell's that?
Yeah. The value is in the experience.
Yeah.
And the art of it exists in the nuances. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it all comes down to like, it's making someone feel something.
Exactly.
You know, it's changing someone's life. It's why I think all artists kind of do it. It's like, if they don't make it for themselves, they're making it for someone else. You know?
Yeah. You're making it for the version of you that's out there. You know, you're making that animation for there is somebody out there that's just like you that will watch that animation and go, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. That's who you're making for. But when you're doing it, you don't have that person in the room with you. All you have is you and your belief that I exist elsewhere.
That other version of you or that person out there that's like you that will understand it. You know?
Yeah. And that faith and that imagination, it only benefits the world. Like that experience of going to a gallery and be like, let me be fluid with how I'm perceiving things and opinions and stuff like that. Like everything good comes from, let's take it in, let's hear it, let's try it, let's explore it. And weirdly, that sounds so obvious, but when you engage with people in the world, sometimes you're like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's weird.
You've closed yourself off to so much stuff without you even knowing it.
Like some people, like you might recommend, even if you're in a house with your mates or you want to go see a film, or like you might go, oh, I heard this is really good. It could be animation. It could be a romance film, for God's sake. And you go to put it on and someone goes, no, I'm not watching that. They've closed themselves off to something that could be incredible. One of my favorite films of all time is a movie called About Time.
Love About Time.
You love it?
Yeah.
Every single time I've watched that more than I can count.
Yeah.
And every single time the ending gets me.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. It's like,
and it's a romance film.
Yeah, of course.
Like
a genre is, again, we were saying about,
it doesn't matter the genre.
It's labels.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
We're talking about like even labeling ourselves and being like, you're a graphic designer. It's like the nuances are infinite of
it's
like
putting stuff in boxes.
Exactly.
You know?
Because we try and do that to understand things where it's easier. So we don't have to, we can stop thinking about it. Like if I go like, you know, if I watch a film or whatever, or even meeting people and I'm like, he's X, so like he's loud and annoying. Like that stops me from being like, why and who and what's the it's the same thing of like the investigation thing.
It's just like labeling something and then leaving that label as that forever. You know?
Yeah. It's easier to,
like you said, just meeting someone, someone might say, oh, they're annoying. So you automatically presume that they're like that. So then you label them that way, and then they're that forever.
Yeah.
But then you actually have a conversation with them, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
I really like this person.
Yeah.
Oh,
And often
interesting.
I find like sometimes they're the people you like the best. If you know,
Literally, yeah.
you know, sometimes it's we don't know what we want.
Yeah.
It's the same again with music. It's like that sounds awful, or that's not something I'm going to be into. And then you sometimes, or you listen to a song, and you're like, I don't know if I like this at all.
Yeah.
And then usually most of the music that I would you know, someone's like top 10 albums, I give the music that initially I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it excites me in a way that's new, and it's, you know, we find things that we expect boring, and we don't really hold on to them usually. And it's the same with people. Like, you know, you want something that's going to be, there's some sort of interest there or friction there that generates in it.
Yeah, just because someone else mightn't have gelled or mightn't meant something to someone doesn't mean it's not going to mean something to you.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Just I feel like people should just have a bit more of an open mind, especially just with everything in general.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and allow for something to have an effect on you. You know.
Yeah. There is, I do really want to ask about How to Invade Earth. Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me about the.
So it's a comic book that me and my friend Leo Lavelle were writing together. The idea came like years ago. I think it was like 2022 or something. But only in the past year, it's kind of been completely reworked since Leo came on board. But the idea kind of spawned from like, I was just sitting on a bus one day, and I've always loved that the very stereotypical conspiracy theorist, alien, UFO, like disc shaped, very stereotypical. Like, I loved the movie Paul.
Yeah.
Right. And I always wondered, like, throughout sci-fi, it's always been depicted as like aliens are these sharp, weird looking creatures, insectoids or whatever, just visually. And we've always seen them from human perspective. We've never seen them really, from my knowledge anyway, from the aliens' perspective of what it's like to come to Earth, to invade a planet. Like, it's normal to them. So because it's called How to Invade Earth, but there's a slight twist in the story that you'll find out after reading a while. But I think it was just the prompt that came into my head. I have it written somewhere. It's literally just alien invasion from the aliens' perspective. And so right now we have this first 6 issues written, and we have like the ending planned. The ending is like, we know what it is.
Okay.
And we're just working on a pitch for publishers and stuff.
Great.
But have the first issue done, complete.
Wow. By complete, is that you have the file as to be
like
set
it's
up?
ready to. There's a few changes I just need to make, but like it's ready. It's read. I just need to do the cover art.
Incredible.
And then I have a few other things that I'm working on. Like, I do. Not only do I work on the How to Invade Earth, that's our main goal, me and Leo.
Yeah.
But I always come up with like world building, of course. But I write little prompts down on my notebook and my notes of other comic ideas or little small mini series and stuff. So I work on other smaller stories.
Great. Is the ultimate goal to roll that out? Like, an issue gets released, people can buy it like a zine, or
So the idea is to just hopefully get published, and then just there'll be monthly issues.
Okay. Excellent.
And usually the arcs or seasons are usually based in like 4, 5, or 6 issues, and then it's next arc, same again.
I love that.
You know, there's only a handful of people that are in the industry in Ireland.
Crazy.
You know, we've kind of lost it, but I think comics are coming back now.
Great.
Like hugely. With the success of the new Absolute Batman series.
Right.
But I've just loved comics.
Yeah. So when you're going to draw there's writing, there's an idea there, and then you're going to draw an image that represents that. Like, are you approaching that? Do you sketch that out as just what comes to mind as what this might be, and then work from that there? Or is it like a fully formed image, or do you use, how does that?
It's kind of a mix. Like, early doors, I would listen to music. Like, before I was driving, I would listen to music on the bus or walking, and I'd see a scene in my head with that as a soundtrack, essentially. And I have on my phone a soundtrack called How to Invade Earth soundtrack.
Great.
And it's just all old music.
I
And
love it.
so that would inspire like moments.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're just moments. There's nothing there. There's no storyline there. So initially I wrote like kind of a first issue or like a rough plan of what the story was. It was terrible. And then when I like sketched it out and all, I came up with all the characters, and then I kind of dropped it for a bit. Then when I was bringing it back, that's when Leo came on board.
Yeah.
And what we do is we script it now. We have a nice order. We've scripted it. Then read out the script, but as we're scripting, we're thinking about what's happening in the scene.
Right.
But we leave it open. So it's like an and then
Okay.
the conversation of, oh, and then this can happen.
Yes.
And then this can happen. And then this can happen. And if we don't know something, when we're storyboarding it's like, I'm just sketching little thumbnails on a page. And then we're like, that kind of works. Or let's make this bit longer because that's kind of an emotional scene. Let's leave this open.
Right.
Then it goes on to, okay, Grant can pencil it, ink it, color it, and letter it, and then it's done.
Oh wow. Okay. So is Leo a illustrator as well, or is he just a writer?
He's a writer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he's working on his own stories as well.
Right.
But our main project is this. This is our main goal. So that'll be class to get out.
It's great. Like you've got so much stuff to fulfill you. Like that's on the go.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard to juggle because I'm splitting myself like
Sure.
5 different ways.
Yeah.
But I wish there was more of me.
Of course,
Yeah.
everybody does. Like that's
Yeah.
common. I have the same thing where I'm like, I wish there was more of me, and it was quicker.
Class, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
The
Exactly.
patience element of it is so like,
And seeing people put out stuff so consistently, but
Yeah.
I need to realize like they're only working on that one thing.
Yeah.
So they're able to be consistent.
Exactly.
And that's where I kind of want to kind of cut back on certain areas and be like, what am I going to put my time into? And not everything has to happen at once.
Yeah.
I think that's something that social media has put pressure on a lot of artists, is like they feel like they need to put out their best project now and all their ideas that they have right now, and all your ideas have a shelf life. Although some might do, some can like you can marinate them.
Yeah.
You know, you can save an idea for when you're 30 or 40.
Yeah.
But work on the one thing now and try master that. Try learn a skill off that. Try learn something off that.
Yeah.
We don't see many masters of craft anymore. Like a lot of the old masters, they would be in their 50s, 60s or 70s,
Yeah.
even 80s and 90s,
Mm.
you know? Like all the famous directors or even the artists, the illustrators, the painters, they mastered it.
Yeah.
They lived and breathed that. But now it's like, even I have a bad habit of doing too much in different lanes that you need to like focus on what you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
And try master something.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot, like, of course, there's nothing wrong with wanting to try everything.
No, of course. Yeah.
But just like take your time on something, and I constantly have to remind myself. So I'm kind of being a bit of a hypocrite, but yeah, it's.
I think also that sometimes the craft, like I was thinking about that same idea, like it's not how my brain works. And I think sometimes you gotta like lean into how you think and also like maybe reshape what the idea of a craft is. Like, and really focus in and be like, well, maybe my craft is just ideas in general. Let's just say that's
ideation.
Yeah, ideation. Let's just say for now that's so I can get that pressure off me and be like, that's what I'm working on all the time, even though it could be in the form.
Yeah, like not everything has to be deep and worked out. Like we said, we were talking about earlier. It's like, yes, world building's great to try to go down a rabbit hole, but sometimes it's good to just come up with the idea and like that's the idea. Doesn't need loads of lore. Sometimes some ideas do need a lot of like explaining and stuff to yourself just to understand it more. But
and
it's,
there's a craft in that. Like there is a craft in in the restraint of being like done. Just
that's it's so hard not to like explore and get caught up in it. You know?
Things work on their own clock, and you can kind of sense that sometimes where it's like, not yet. But sometimes you can have a Saturday where you're just like, wait, no, now, everything now.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad. Or like 3 a.m. It's
exactly.
Like, you're like, can't sleep, and you're like, oh my God, I have to change my entire style right now. Like everything needs to change. My stuff is terrible. Oh my God, why haven't I like this? Why haven't I good enough? Like,
and then you wake.
It's a daily battle.
It's a daily. Exactly. Yeah. Wake up, have a coffee, and then you sit down. You're like, hang on a second. Like
you're like, everything I've worked on up to this point means nothing.
Yeah.
Let me reinvent myself. You know?
Yeah. But because I think it comes from caring a lot about what you're doing. Like, you wouldn't if you didn't care, you'd be like, fuck it, doesn't matter. Maybe it does mean something.
I would love to have that ability to just be like, work done, that put that in. Like I'd love to be like mindless in that sense. Like I like being attached to work and being like that. I love what I just did. Whereas I feel like if someone's just like doing something and throwing it out, it's great to have that ability to like detach yourself from it. But
there's beauty in both.
Exactly. There's a balance.
Yeah.
It's very hard, and I admire people that have that balance.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah. But it only comes down to you when you know no one's going to tell you how to balance it, or there's no book you can read on how to balance what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
You know,
if there's there's no way to. So you can't ask someone, how do I do it? You know, you find it by going deep on both sides.
Yeah.
There's obviously an extreme to both sides. Like myself, I'd be in that right now is like, I'm fully attached. So I'm almost afraid to put it out. I don't put out as often. Whereas the other side, it's like someone who's putting out all the time. They might be like, everything I do is really bad. So let me just like try to get it all out my system.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and that
So you never know.
But that ability to shift into the opposite perspective, that's inherent to being an artist as well. It's like your ability just there to take yourself out of your own mindset.
Even if I'm fully attached to it,
Yeah.
just put it out.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
seeing both sides of the coin helps you come to terms with where you're at. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Because you understand that it's just a story you're telling yourself most of the time. Of like, well, again, it's like the thing of being like, they're all X, they're all doing like this. That's the rule.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with things like, well, all rom-coms are like this.
Yeah.
All of that's not true. You know what I mean? Like,
And also when you're on one side of that coin, it's like you're looking at the other side as if it's greener when it's equally the same.
comes with its own.
Exactly.
Exactly,
So it's just about learning balance within yourself to have a bit of both, you know, tap into both sides. That's something that I feel like I'm figuring out at the moment. And sometimes I lean into, like, if I'm not too confident about my work or I'm detaching myself from my work, I like to lean into the more commercial stuff and be like, you know what, this is really working out right now and I'm focusing on that. Let me leave that art for a bit because it doesn't feel right. It might be the other way around, you know. I'm not really feeling great about that, so let me dive into my work.